Glad to be with you here today. Um, we're going to kick off with a song from ChristineEss. Uh, ChristineEss Young is it's just so wonderful to work with her. Uh, we haven't talked. ChristineEss and I have not spoken about this message other than she says, "What's the topic?" I sent a quick message. Here's the topic, and we know we've worked together so much that we just don't need to do it, and it's a wonderful relationship. And Christine S., I'm just so glad you're here. Will you open us with a song?
I'd love to. Thank you, David. My imagination's taking off again, dreaming bigger than I've ever known. Dreams so big I don't know where to begin. Wrap my brain around you, I start over again. The top is just a new place to begin. There's always a new mountain to climb. Your possibilities blow my mind. More than I know, more than I feel, deeper than oceans and wider than space. Your love runs deep, your love runs wide, breaking me open from deep inside. I wanna describe you, but there are no words. I wanna say thank you, but words just seem absurd. For all that you've given, for all that you are, and I feel so blessed. More than I know, more than I feel, deeper than oceans and wider than space. Your love runs deep, your power is great, your amazing grace. More than I know, more than I feel, deeper than oceans, wider than space. Your love runs deep, your power is great, your peace will create compassion and courage, arms open wide, loving each other from every side. More than I know, more than I feel, deeper than oceans and wider than space. Beyond what I know is calling me home into your embrace.
Thank you, Christine S. It's our tradition to open with the prayer for protection. If you know the prayer for protection and you care to repeat it with me, please do. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. We give thanks for this beautiful day. Cold as it is, we have blue skies and we have trees budding out and greenery starting to show up. We live in a beautiful place. We give thanks for our lives and we give thanks for this time together. And so it is. Amen. Um, Let me just ask, uh, uh, well, Uh, Denise told me a few minutes ago that Victoria is not here. She's not here for announcements, but there's really nothing new from last week. If you have questions, just hang on after the service and talk to Denise. But we really do not have any announcements for this morning. Christine S., you're going to bless us with music again. Thank you.
through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a whole house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compiled, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be a part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world you'll see. To the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
Thank you, ChristineEss. Oh, that was beautiful. Um, I'm going to tell you a story this morning. We'll start off with a story, and go from there. This is one of my earliest memories as a child. I have several memories from age 5 that are distinct. I can pull them out of my own memory. But memory itself is a function of the imagination. If you I'm working with the faculty of imagination today. I'll tell you a little bit more about it, I'll tell you about it as we go, but I'm working with the concept of imagination. Memory is imagination, because here's the thing: if it's not happening right in front of you right now, in this now moment, then it's not real. And if it's not real, it's imaginary in some way. All memories are a function of the imagination. And because of the way the imagination works, that's why memories just can change so much. And memories can become so different from what really happened for people. I'm becoming aware of where that may have happened for me, I'm monitoring it. I'm watching it because I love to watch this aging process on myself, but I'm also just just it's a compulsion with me to find out more about what's going on in David's head. I just it's just something I got to do. Um, this story is from when I was about 5 years old. I had a problem when I was 5 years old, and I couldn't get my mother to understand that I had a problem. I couldn't get my parents to. Mom was the main caregiver. We were in a small town in Texas in the 1960 was when I would have been five, and we lived in the parsonage right beside the church, and the phone number for the church was the same as the phone number for our house. There was really no division except that we got to lock the door at night, and and be ourselves. The but I had a problem. I was trying to get my mom to understand that I needed something to change. That's there was something happening at church. I loved to go to the church. We had to be there for every function, even if it was a school night, if it was no matter what it was, we had to be there. And um, I had a problem though that on Sundays I would be going somewhere from point A to point B, and one of the young women would grab me and pull me up to their lap to have their cute moment with the cute kid, the little loving interaction. Now I was going somewhere. Now if I fight to get back down, no, you don't have a right to grab me and fuss to get down. I'm misbehaving. Now this is a problem for a 5 year old. It's not a big problem for an adult to talk about, but at five it was. So I needed mom to understand that I was too old to sit in laps. I am way too old to sit in laps. And she uh she finally got the message, and she finally told the ladies, oh, it was so cute. Davy thinks he's too old to sit in laps. They did it condescendingly, but they finally gave me the uh uh what I needed. Well, time went on, and I turned six, and just as I was turning six, the three of us made a trip. My mother, my father, and myself. Um, my sister had just been born, and she and my little brother were left with some family friends, longtime family friends, because the three of us were going to make a road trip, and it wasn't even an overnight. It was just a fast road trip out and back. And where we were going was to a little town, a little church that my father had been serving when I was born, and he was in seminary. So these people were having memories of me, and they wanted to. My parents would bring me back so they could see these. We could see these folks. I heard them telling this story in the car, and when we got there, uh, there was a man who used to hold me, and I used to enjoy being held by him when I was a baby, and he just got so much pleasure from it. And he said, "Come sit in my lap," and I said, "No, I'm too old to sit in laps." I didn't tell him I'm too old to sit in laps. I just said, "No, I don't sit in laps." And and then mom betrayed me. She said, "Go sit in his lap, honey." And I looked at her, and then I looked at my dad, and dad was going, "Go on, go on." I can see him doing that in my memory. And I had to sit up there. I had to perch up there like a baby in complete humiliation for like an hour. That's why I remember that other event. I had that my parents never knew that I had that experience. I never told them that was the experience I had had. At the end of the at the end of the hour, we were getting ready to go, and Mom tossed me the little bundle of of socks. She had folded them in on themselves. Well, I opened my socks by hitting them on something. I just grabbed both ends and hit them. So I started doing that on that guy's knee, and because I was still having to sit up there on his lap like a baby, and and I was hitting it on his knee, and my dad called me down and said don't hit him on the knee, and and that's when I lost it. Not lost it. I just That's when I popped off. I said I didn't want to be up here anyway. I can remember saying it. Oh, the whole room kind of came unglued. And I heard Mom tell him, he's just tired. I probably was just tired. I'm sure I was tired, but I was also betrayed. Of course, I feel that way. I may have told this story on the topic of betrayal, but I'm doing it to illustrate the imagination, how the imagination functions. I probably wouldn't remember the telling my mom that I had a problem. I probably wouldn't remember that, except that I remembered it again when I was having the experience of having to sit in that guy's lap. It the way the memory works, did it really happen that way, or have I embellished it? I've had a bit of a victim thing with my mom from birth, and and so it's something for me it's an area that I've constantly worked on. It's good that you constantly work on it, but it's it, it all happens in my head. It all happens in my head. Mom didn't have that experience. Dad didn't have that experience. It all happened in mine. It was a function of my imagination that they were insulting me. It was a function of my imagination that something was wrong. It seemed wrong for good reason, but that's what we do. That's how we create our experiences. When I was in seminary, we learned a technique called Gestalt. We learned different psychological techniques. It was important for us to know about them as ministers. That doesn't make us psychology practitioners. It doesn't make us psychologists, but it gave us some understanding of techniques and tools you can use. Gestalt is a very simple technique. You sit in a chair, and you put a chair across from you. The therapist does, and then the therapist coaches a conversation that you couldn't have perhaps when the person was alive, or perhaps you can't have the conversation with that person now. But what you can do is heal what's going on within you with that person. I've had that experience. I've done it with myself, and and changed in a way that changed everything about my relationship with a person. Think of what a relationship itself is. What is a relationship? Well, a relationship is the interaction between two people. We kind of know that, but it's not something you can see. It's not something you can hold. You have it because you say you have it. You have it because you imagine you have it. I reveal that imagining to you, and you imagine it. Two people imagine that the other cares exactly that much, or can be trusted just that much. That's why it's so heartbreaking when trust is broken. The imaginary is revealed. It's revealed as being only imaginary. I thought it was real. Relationships take place in our imagination. Well, it's so important then that we have our imagination and oversee its function. Because if we don't, our imagination has us. My father dealt with bouts of paranoia. especially um, as he was nearing the end of his life, when he went into a series of having to go into the hospital and then having to recover in nursing homes. And uh, he would get paranoid about how this nurse was out to get him, but that nurse was on his side, and he had a whole drama going on. All of it was in his head, and I can do that too. I mentioned earlier that ChristineEss and I, we don't really need to talk. We can just email back and forth. That has been uncomfortable for me as it changed, because I was in such a pattern of having that conversation. But the discomfort is only in my imagination. If there's something that we need to talk about, she will tell me. And if there's something I need to talk about, of course, I would reach out to her. Uh, uh, it- any any discomfort is just coming from my imagination. It's my paranoia. If I say I'm if I send her the message and then I don't hear back, I can imagine. Well, uh, what's the problem? I can just invent problems. That's what I do. It has nothing to do with ChristineEss. It has to do with David. It's all in David's head. Um, what I'm doing this year, what I'm doing this year is I'm going to touch on the 12 powers. The faculty of imagination is one of the 12 powers that Charles Fillmore identified. Now, I'm not going to be teaching Fillmore's 12 powers. I recommend it if you have the interest. But what's amazing to me and what really works for me is the structure of the 12 powers. And the reason I'm doing it is so I can be doing something related to unity, because I've been uh, out of alignment, if you will, with unity for so long, that this will keep me focused. It'll give me a way to do it. And I decided on imagination first when I was listening to a favorite old album. The album is Some Girls by the Rolling Stones. Came out in the 70s. I think it was 76. And it just floored me, that album did. And one of the songs on there is titled "Just My Imagination." It's a remake of the song "Just My Imagination" by the Temptations. And I was listening to that album, and I was listening to what they did with the music, and I was remembering the how different it is in the original song. And so what I did is on my music app, I just looked up the song. And by looking up the song, I could hear it from the Temptations. I could hear it from the Stones. I could hear it from Boys to Men. There's several other people who have done Just My Imagination, that old Temptations song. And what happens in the Temptations song is they kind of make it sound kind of eerie, kind of like a Twilight Zone thing. They say "just my imagination," and he goes doodle 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 up and down, and um, but then in the Rolling Stones songs, he says "just my imagination," and that's when Keith Richards fuzzes out his guitar and lays down heavy on it. And it's a completely different audio, oral. It's a different oral experience of the concept of the imagination. It's a different emotion about the imagination. And listening to that and dissecting that, I was going to name this message "Just My Imagination." If you're going to give it a title, that would be "Just My Imagination." The problem is, I think I have a memory of using it before. I don't have a distinct memory, but I have it sounds familiar enough. Who knows? I probably have. That's what memory is does. Uh, uh, I turned 70 this year, and I'm having so much fun being 70. But I'm having a little, it's a little disconcerting watching what's going on. There's discord in this nation right now. There's discord in the world. There's discord in this nation. There's always discord because there's always two opinions. There's two ideas. There's different ways of viewing things. We all have our own imaginations, our own ideas in our minds of what the nation should look like and how it should treat you and how it should treat me and how it should treat them uh, and so forth. But what's happened over my lifetime is that there's been a concerted effort to have people imagine uh, that that a plot against our nation. The plot being that communists are going to and socialists are just posing as everyday liberals. And every time we do something as a group to help each other and to help our citizenry, we get close to a slippery slope. The Cold War was based on that, and today it's the reaction to that, the reactionary experience is what we're seeing. Um, they said the right said they're planning to take our guns, so now they're in the cities taking people's guns. That's what's going on. And they're doing it in the name of that. It's it's a little crazy and it's very scary. A couple of years ago, a guy named Kyle Rittenhouse carried a gun into a protest. And one group was just absolutely certain that he had a right to carry that illegal firearm into that protest. Well, this week somebody was shot, was killed for having a gun at a protest, and there's a completely different story in the news. The world needs people with mindful imagination. The world needs people who take control or not take charge of the direction of their own imagination and take charge of their own relationship with their imagination. That faculty of imagination needs to have the faculty of understanding applied to it. It needs to have the faculty of strength applied to it in areas and exposed as well. Um, that faculty of imagination that you have needs an understanding of love. It needs the work of conscious words, the faculty of power that creates our world. So where did the faculty of imagination come from? Well, I got to tell you, it evolved. Now, um, the way Charles Fillmore writes, of course, God created mankind, and God has instilled mankind with this faculty of imagination. But I got to tell you, my dog has the faculty of imagination. I've had cats with the faculty of imagination. If the uh, the experiment with Pavlov's dog. Do you remember that? The owner, uh, the test was done by ringing a bell every time food was going to be offered to a dog, and then they measured how a dog would start to salivate when the bell was rung. That faculty of imagination is alive in a dog. It's alive in all creation, and I wonder about non-sentient creation. If there isn't something about something akin to imagination that has two cells reach out to each other and and connect, because all of our connections as humans, all of our connections with nature are are based in the imagination. Think of the amount of animals that you will eat and that you won't eat. Now, if you may be vegetarian, that's cool. But think of it as a whole. The society says we will eat a cow, we won't eat a horse. Society says we will eat a chicken, we won't eat a dove. That's what we do, and And yet it's an imaginary line because it's moved for many other cultures and for many other societies. I don't know how I was going to end this, except simply to invite you to work on understanding your own imagination. What is it in the relationships, in your relationships that are imaginary? Much of my relationship with Raylene, I love Raylene. I love being married to Raylene. I was having so much fun with her, but um, the the relationship exists in my imagination. I imagine that she's being truthful to me when she's telling me how she feels about me. She imagines that I'm being truthful with her, and as far as I know, I am being, and as far as I know, she is being. But the relationship itself has to have a strong imagination in her and a strong imagination in me, so that we're not fooling each other about where our relationship is. We're connecting those creative parts of our brain. Those create All creativity is a function of the faculty of imagination. All music, all poetry, the concept of words. Think of how storytelling started. I was online and I saw somebody giving someone a hard time because they listened to audiobooks instead of reading the books. They said that's cheating. Well, the original way of telling stories was sitting around the fire telling it audibly. We are, if you will, we are evolved to to hear these stories audibly and to understand as a group, understand things as a group because we're hearing our stories audibly. But then if we what we did with our faculty of imagination is created books, and now the same experience can be had through books. But is it the same experience? It's in my imagination, but that's only in my imagination. That's how much work we can do. I want to invite that exploration, and we're gonna take a meditation, take a moment for meditation here, and let me see where we are. Okay, we're going to take a moment for meditation, but first, ChristineEss is going to lead us into meditation, and then we'll have our time of meditation together. Thank you.
Come with me, and we'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. Come with me, and we'll be in a world of and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you wanna view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
Oh, thank you, ChristineEss. I invite you now, as you can and as you will, to turn within for a few moments of introspection and contemplation and meditation. Allow your breathing to become steady. As you can, still your thoughts. In this moment, I want to invite you to consider the richness of your imagination, the power it can have to carry you away. If you will, imagine yourself on a seashore. The waves are lapping in. You can hear the sound of the gently lapping waves. The day is warmish, but not hot. The sun feels good. The breeze feels good. And the water is so calming. Now, if you will, imagine you're sitting in a chair with a big screen television in front of you. And what's on the screen is a beach, a beautiful beach. Blue skies, the sound of gently lapping waves. The temperature in your room is perfect. The image, it carries you away. Your faculty of imagination works for you on so many levels and in so many ways. Consider your deepest fear. Fear is an application of the imagination designed to save your life. Fear is an emotion, but it works off of the imagination more often than it works off of what's really around you. Manage your imagination and you'll manage your fears. You'll manage your relationships. Manage your imagination and you'll manage the other faculties because you'll be able to conceive of them. For Charles Fillmore, access to the divine, access to God was for a human was through the imagination. That doesn't mean God is imaginary to him. It simply means it's referring to conceiving of something that's not tangible right in front of you. That's always the imagination. What a rich blessing. The physicist, the physicist connects with the universe through the faculty of imagination. He doesn't have to really set off the bomb to know what's going to happen. He doesn't really have to see the planets collide to understand what would happen. The physicist knows, the scientist understands, and it works through the faculty of imagination. You have that capacity. You have the capacity to create. You have the capacity to understand the imagination, the work of imagination in crowds, within families, the work of imagination on others. What a rich life. What a rich way to live. We give thanks for this time together. We give thanks for this understanding. And so it is. Amen. ChristineEss, do you have another song for us?
Sure.
All right.
In the spirit of celebration, we're grateful. We're grateful in the brilliance of life's perfection. We're grateful. We're grateful for the blessings already given, for the goodness of life we're living, for the finished kingdom of heaven. And all is well. All is well. All is well. In the spirit of celebration, we're grateful. We're grateful in the brilliance of life's perfection. We're grateful. We're grateful for the blessings already given, for the goodness of God we're living in the finished kingdom of heaven. And all is well. All is well. All is well. All is well. All is well.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here today. Don't forget to support your group, support your excuse me, support your ministry. There's a way for you to do that right on the website, right on the usual ways to take care of that. Okay, I'm going to declare the I'm going to declare the service over, and then those of you who are online here, just stay on if you want to